series at Team Beauty Official. I am beyond delighted, excited, and extremely grateful to be able to present to you episode 8. But before I do that, I want to just thank you, each and every single one of you who has been tuning in from the very first episode that we did, the second, the third, all the way through episode 7. We are just above the halfway mark in our 12-week series. And let me tell you, all of our guests that have been on this podcast have truly been vulnerable, shared their personal experiences, their stories, their victories, just like the hard times that they've had, but also have been able to be inspiration to each and every single one of us to continue through, to push through our week and continue to elevate and step into the best version of ourselves. Let me tell you that this week is not going to be different. Episode 8. Let me tell you that I feel a little weird in the room because today I am doing this solo as a message to all of our customers, all of our coaches, all of our listeners. It's such a beautiful and special week, a week where I think the stress starts to come alive in us. We have double the events, double the parties. We start to get family to come into town, and we start to come around into this day called Thanksgiving. And so I decided to name episode 8 Unconditional Giving, and really show you guys 4 different ways of giving, but most importantly, how we can start to apply that into our lives and truly get the best out of it. But before I do that, I just want to send a special shout out to the guests that have been a part of the last 7 weeks, like I said previously, and to you, the girl that is listening right now, the girl who has chosen to get up one more time, the one who has chosen self-love, the one who has chosen health, happiness, and to go at it one more time into that you that you want to be, into the next level woman that you want to be. And that maybe you've chosen that to be in the last 90 days or in this year 2022. See, I feel that whenever this time comes around, and I mean Thanksgiving, holidays, Christmas, you name it, we start to party and we start to see our family, but we also start to maybe dig a little deeper, on the things that we said we were going to do, on the goals that we had set out for the year, on maybe the things that we're grateful for, even sometimes, the things you wish you would have done, but you didn't do. And I am here to truly tell you that it's not too late and that we're still in 2022 and we still have enough time to help you feel good about yourself, empower you, but most importantly, start getting those tips. Start getting those action steps on what is it that is needed, okay, on what I need in order to become the woman that I want. And so that is what our podcast is about. Our podcast is about you becoming empowered, you being able to take weekly action steps in improving yourself, whether that's through your health, fitness, through your relationships, through discovering your own self and being able to say like, hey, wait a minute, be nicer to myself. Let me pat myself on the back. Let me say like, hey girl, like you've done so good. So if it's you and you're listening, I just want to shout you out because you're doing amazing, because you're a seeker, because up till now, you have learned and you are standing. And now it's a matter of continuous growth and being able to finish the year strong. So, episode 8, here we are in unconditional giving, right? And so I want you to think about that. Like, what does that mean for you? And I'm going to twist it up a little bit. I took some notes and I want to share that with you because at the end of the day, Thanksgiving comes around. We know we say, we're going to be thankful. Maybe we do our prayer, around our family. But at the end of the day, I want you to take maybe this podcast, watch it again, listen to it again, right? And take a couple minutes in silence just for yourself to be able to recap your year, your goals, your victories, your personal life, and maybe even this level of gratitude that I'm going to talk about today. I want to call it empowered gratitude. Yes, write that down. Empowered gratitude. Because before we can move into the next level in our life, or maybe shift into greatness and start to, collect the memories and the relationships and all of these different things that, aside from money, right, it's the riches that truly make your heart full. We truly have to have the correct mindset behind what empowered gratitude could mean, right? What gratitude means, what being positive means. You might hear it in and out, right? It might sound cliche to you. Become empowered, be positive, look at the silver lining, right? Hard times don't last, tough people do. We hear that over and over, and we see that too. Now on social media, my husband and I were talking about that, the other day, and it's like, you could be scrolling on your phone on social media, and that could consume you so much that at the end of the day, it could even put you into a comparison mode, or it can depress you, right? And so this is important, where we can become silent with each other, right? With yourself, and start to think like, what is intentional gratitude? What is empowered gratitude? And I love it because it really starts focusing on how we can change our mindset from just thinking about, being grateful, to really being intentional on the things that you're truly grateful. It's really like from random to being intentional, where now the focus, okay, is on being grateful on where you currently are in your current present, and how I can positively impact the people around me by the gratitude that I personally have, by the positive that I personally have. Yes, I know it's easier said than done, especially if you're going through something, if your circumstances aren't exactly where you want them to. A lot of the times, we might get like, why are you always so happy, right? Or you seem like everything's put together in your life. And let me tell you that none of us has everything perfectly together in our life. There is always going to be something that is going to unbalance your life, right? Something that is going to shock you, or, take you by surprise. But at the end of the day, if you're able to dominate this part of being empowered and being intentionally grateful, then you're going to be able to be like, okay, where do I currently stand? And you are going to be able to personally shift yourself from maybe being ungrateful to being grateful. From being, maybe a victim to being able to see like, okay, what do I currently have in this present time that is going to take me to have a different outlook in life? We only have one life. You only have one life. And as imperfect as it is, as tough as it may seem, at the end of the day, each and every single one of us can truly find something to be grateful for. And so what I'm going to share with you is 4 levels of gratitude. Yes, when I read them and when I learned about them, it was truly like, I love this perspective. And I love being able to say that in whatever area you are in your life, there's different levels of it. It's kind of like when you start to lose your first, maybe 20, 30 pounds, if you've had to lose them, right? Or you've never been in the gym and you started your fitness routine, your fitness regimen. you start to unlock different levels, a different mindset. You become stronger through the process, right? If it has to do with your health, you don't give in as much. There could be people around you and you don't give in as much. You're able to say, no, thank you, not right now. When you're in your fitness regimen and you weren't used to working out, right? You start running that mile or you start lifting those weights. The first couple weeks, you're going to be sore, brutally sore, right? But after a couple weeks, a couple months, you're going to be challenging yourself to be like, okay, can I lift a little heavier? Can I improve my form? Etc., etc. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I truly want you to understand that as we go into Thanksgiving week, you and I both can go from the chaos, right? Loving our family gatherings, eating, and whatever it all entails this Thanksgiving. That at the end of the day, you don't miss, first of all, thanking God, right? For being able to have you here today, alive, breathing, seeing, and in the space that you are, but more also being able to tell yourself, thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for being a seeker. Thank you for learning, right? And so let's learn about these 4 levels of gratitude. The first one, which I'm not going to spend a lot of time in, but sister, let me tell you, we've all been there, and sometimes we've been there on purpose, like at sometimes we could be there without even knowing about it. The first level is ungratefulness. Being ungrateful, okay? Do you know people who are always negative? People who, no matter what the circumstance, they always are finding something to complain about, maybe finding others to blame. They always seem angry or bitter. Sometimes you can even feel their energy, or the energy shifts the moment they come into the room, right? We like to say the vibes, right? We feel the vibes. I know that you know what I'm talking about, because all of a sudden, maybe the happiness and the enthusiasm, that level just takes the dip, okay? Usually people that are ungrateful can't really keep a level of positive. People who are ungrateful can enjoy the moment, right? Usually are the ones that are like, psh, please, right? Like, oh, here we go again with our positivity, right? What is there to be grateful for? And at the end of the day, ungratefulness can be found in a sense of like arrogance, or also in a state of grief, sadness, depression. And usually these things send people down the path of ungratefulness. Number 1, if you find yourself ungrateful, thank you for being on. Thank you for being that seeker. And I'm about to show you the next 3, which can truly turn that around at any given moment. And as I said, you could find yourself in that space and be like, shift. How can I go from where I am to where I want to be? And the second level is respect. Respect. The first step of really living in gratitude is being able to show respect, right? That is like social respect, the way that we greet people. You know, sometimes when you see somebody, you might open the door for them. They might walk into the room. These are people that you greet with a smile. You say hello, good evening, good night, have a good day, great seeing you, right? How we express thanks as a genuine thank you. Like, thank you so much, right? How do you express thank yous? I want you to think about that. Some of us might use words like please, right? We might use words that will uplift other people. Welcome, excuse me, okay? How we respect others is critical to truly becoming even a good leader in your workspace, in your business, wherever it is that you are, okay? And most of the times as leaders, we also demonstrate respect to the people that are around us, okay, depending on circumstances. And so how do I show respect? That's the first way of being grateful, right? Being able to be respectful in the social world, okay? And if we aren't able to say goodbye, good evening, hello, smile, right? There's other people around you, then it's going to be very difficult for us to get to the second one. If you've already been able to be doing that because you feel better about yourself, because you're, working on yourself, you're working on your fitness, you're working on your relationships, the second one is appreciation. Okay, this is like appreciation on the things that we experience, maybe things that we own, special moments, okay? I think that especially as we're getting older, we get to see more like loving the sunrise or the sunset, being able to appreciate special dinners. I mean, my husband and I had a dinner yesterday without our cell phones, and we were just talking about how much we appreciated that moment, right? The fact that we were able to have dinner without the interruption of the cell phone, okay? And so why is that some can experience appreciation at a different degree than others? I do feel that at the end of the day, it comes down to our levels of gratitude. It comes down to our heart. How do you feel about your life? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about the moments that you're living on a daily with your kids, if you have them, with your husband, if you have him, with your pets, with your family, at work, right? Like, appreciation, okay, is beauty. Being able to admire and appreciate the littlest things, like the way the clouds are formed, or the way that your kids laugh. Appreciate yourself, right, for doing the things that you're doing currently, okay? We appreciate the friendships that we have. I love it because during Thanksgiving, we have our Friendsgivings, we have little get-togethers, and we're able to take the opportunity to go above what we usually do to show appreciation for the people in our life that have made a difference, that have been an inspiration for us, right? That had made an impact. So I want you to think about, as you take the moment for yourself, maybe you're doing it as we speak, it's like, what am I appreciative of? Who am I appreciative towards? Who can I send that special thank you that I don't usually send to, but I want them to know that I appreciate them so much? Take a little bit more, couple more minutes, to be able to dig deep, right? And show your personal appreciation, because at the end of the day, it's not only thinking like, thank you, God, I'm grateful, but it's being able to show it through respect, through appreciation, and lastly, through generosity. Okay? The highest form of gratefulness or gratitude is unconditional giving. And I want to say this is my favorite one, okay? Because giving comes in many phases. That also has levels, okay? We can give in our time, in our energy, in our attention, our resources, right? Some of you might give to different charitable organizations, okay? we can be generous to ourselves when like our lives are chaotic, truly, and something negative occurs, but we truly still find a way to be grateful and to be giving. Okay? When somebody loses a job, or when there's death in a family, when circumstances happen, what are ways that you can give? Not only flowers or not only your time, but a lot of the times you can share your personal experiences. You can share personal stories that is going to be beneficial for others. Being able to live in the present and find ways to be a positive influence is a unique gift, and you can only find it when you're truly grateful. How can I be a positive influence, a positive influencer, not only for a moment, for it to be a ripple effect in many people's lives? It's when I can truly be grateful. Okay? When I am truly living my day-to-day in gratitude. And like I said, it doesn't come only from saying thanks, thank you, or I'm grateful, but it comes from the personal actions that we do in a day-to-day basis, by being respectful to others, by showing appreciation, okay, and by this unconditional giving. When you do not expect nothing in return. Unconditional giving. When you're able to give and not feel anything, whether or not you receive, for example, in Christmas, right? Like you might go out there and give somebody a gift and then you're like, they didn't give me a gift back. No, girl. Unconditional giving is getting to the level where you give without receiving. You give of your time. You give of your moments. You give your experience. Right? You give your efforts. You donate to charity. You do all of the different things because that is what truly comes from you, and that is what truly is going to make you happy. So as we approach Thanksgiving, I want you to enjoy that awesome meal. I want all of my beauties, all of our coaches, and everybody listening from around this podcast to be able to say thank you for what I am up to now, but also experience for yourself another level of gratitude. Like, what is that next step for me? I want you to think about that. I've made it up to here in this year, and now what's coming next? What am I grateful for? Who do I appreciate? So I want to give you an action step for this week. And what I want you to do is, first of all, as soon as you finish this podcast, I want you to give thanks to somebody. Who are you grateful for? Tell somebody that you love them. And if you've ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages, okay, look it up. You can even Google the 5 love languages, and you're going to discover what your personal love language is. But then you might also understand why you give a certain way. And so call somebody, text somebody, show them your true appreciation, and most importantly, dig deep inside of you and ask yourself, am I living a life full of gratitude, where you can wake up every morning regardless of the circumstance and say, I love my life still. I'm hopeful for what is coming next. I cannot wait what I'm about to learn from this. Apply being able to be the unconditional giver and understand, right, that in this life, everything circles around. Just like we have to learn some lessons, we also are going to win. But what we do have to do is to start putting our little grain of sand to positively impact others, to be an inspiration by the way that we live our life. Wishing you guys an amazing Thanksgiving this week. This is episode 8 unconditional giving and giving you the 4 levels of gratitude, whether it was ungrateful, respect, appreciation, and generosity. I can't wait to hear your feedback. I cannot wait for you to tag us on our Instagram or Facebook, Team Beauty Official. Make sure that each one of you hug your loved ones a little tighter, express your love to them a little bit more this week. This is episode 8, Unconditional Giving, and we will see you next week.